Gonna do an interview with my caregiver. She knows this is being recorded for Facebook. Just looking at my questions that I have.
Maybe.
Look at this mess. Does this happen to you too? It thinks
Yes.
some long password is my real password, which I keep telling it no. I don't think that's it, but I don't know if we'll have time to get to any of them. We'll see. I was having so many technical problems last night trying to get to my TBI group, and then it ended up being canceled anyway.
Oh.
Well, I was relieved because I didn't disappoint anybody. But I just went to my AA ladies group instead. Okay.
Do you have another one that you can sign into? I mean, like reset your password or forgot password.
This is why I was running into the problem last night. I was trying to send it to my new Gmail. I guess I can do my old one and see.
Yeah. I write down my password sometimes on my phone and I'll lock it in my notes.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
I do that sometimes. Especially for like sites that I never use. Like for my CNA site. To renew it every so often. There's like it needed like some long obnoxious password. So I just made one up. But I don't remember it, so I just have to have my notes locked. So anytime I have to renew it, I just like go in my notes and I find it out. It's just there. And then to lock it is just a 4-digit passcode.
I don't know. It's not working. Could you grab my phone?
Yeah.
You can probably find them on there.
I can't tell your percentage. It's sort of charged.
I might be able to find some generic ones, but borderline hasn't been studied that much, so. But I guess PTSD has. We could do that.
Yeah. Borderline is hard though.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to. The mind is hard to study. Period. And then everyone is very unique and different, and everyone determines their feelings differently. Me and my friend were having this conversation a while ago.
Yeah.
And how it's hard for people to get diagnosed. And a lot of it is because the MSDS?
DSM-5.
Yes.
Or maybe it's 8 now. I don't know. It was 5 when I was studying it.
I think it's still 5. They're always constantly like changing and making them different and updating it and changing it. So it's hard to like have someone diagnosed one way, and then once there's a whole new book, then their diagnosis can be changed or tweaked. And then a lot of people they'll say, oh, I'm feeling this, and that, and all those symptoms could be like 5 different diagnoses. Symptoms. So just being diagnosed is difficult. And then people like to self-diagnose, and then that's a whole issue within itself.
I might have to sign in to my other account. Let's see. Oh, this one has only ever had that. Yeah, that's not going to work either. Let's see what we can find online. I think there would be questions for PTSD caregivers. Because you might help someone decide if that's what they want to do or not. Or like, don't do it. Oh, caregiving tips from the VA.
Yeah, that's a big one. A lot of people that are in the VA have PTSD.
Have you taken care of any vets?
Yes, I did a few. None of them had extreme PTSD though.
Oh, well, yeah, because they'll pull guns on you and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The people I did were like in the Navy, or they were in Air Force. They were never in like active combat.
This looks interesting. When I heard through Family of a Vet, which is an online PTSD and TBI, because I have both of those, advocacy group about the Caregiver Program, I almost didn't apply. Oh yeah, one of my neighbors did this on the military base. I've been so used to not being taken seriously by people, friends, and family included about my husband's condition. Nearly all of his injuries are invisible, but invisible injuries leave scars. Unfortunately, you can only feel the scars, not see them.
Yeah.
I thought they would surely take one look at my husband and wonder why in the world we were applying for the Caregiver Program. At worst, I figured they would tell us to take a hike. That's how I felt too. I was like, they'll probably just tell me I don't qualify, but I'm gonna apply.
Good.
And at best, I figured I was going to have to fight for it. I cannot tell you how wrong I was. This was the most painless process I've ever gone through that has been associated with my husband's military career, medical care. She said something about them asking questions. I want to see.
Mm-hmm. They ask a lot of questions, and it's a lot of paperwork. But once you're in, you get a lot of help.
From the VA?
Mm-hmm. They pay for a lot of medical. They pay for pharmacy. They pay for the spouses sometimes.
Yeah.
They do.
If they're permanently disabled.
Yeah. There's a lot of insurance companies that you can get. Like life insurance plans that are like bundled with the VA and will include like your kids and your family. Yeah, the VA is really good, but it's a long process to get in.
There's so many different things out there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can just record asking you a few questions since we only have like 40 minutes, and then I can edit it later.
Yeah, that works.
So
Are you going to do it through your computer or on your phone?
I'm gonna do it on the computer so we can just sit here and it'll be able to see us.
Yeah.
I might be off to the side because they've already seen me a lot on my channel.
Uh-huh.
Interview. Okay. We're on the, so you probably should sit here because this is the camera. Okay. I'm gonna be looking at the screen, not you though, so it won't be a very good interview. They're talking about physical intimacy. That doesn't apply to you.
No.
Okay, they were saying like, oh, here we go. Have you noticed me having recurring and distressing thoughts about the PTSD events?
Occasionally, but I've noticed you're really good at redirecting yourself.
Yeah.
And you're also really good at noticing that these thoughts are happening and these things are happening, and you're really good at vocalizing. A lot of people are not.
They just seem grouchy all of a sudden or something.
Or they'll kind of run away and go do something else. Or they'll, be self-destructive but not tell anyone. You recognize it, and you try to stop it. A lot of people don't know how to stop it, and a lot of it is they let it control their lives. I've seen in some people, and it's hard, and I don't know what it's like to do that. I've only seen it in other people, and I can only imagine how stressful it is and how dementing it can be to the mind.
I used to do a lot more of the running away stuff. I didn't realize that was why I was doing it till you just said that, though.
Yeah.
And
it's valid.
So they're talking about feelings of detachment or estrangement from others. So how have you tried to help me like get out of it because I know that I do that some days, like just totally not wanting to talk or interact. How do you deal with that as a caregiver?
I normally try to let you be, because a lot of it is you need to kind of understand the situation. You need to know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I know you know how to help yourself. Some people don't know how to do that. And then I also try to offer, like, do you want to go for a walk? Do you need me to go pick something up? Do you need me to do X, Y, and Z? Just kind of get your mind going on a different path of, oh, let's go do something. Let's go do these things. Or, oh, I really want to do these things. Or, you'll have an idea of like, oh, I want to go knit something.
Yeah.
And then I'll see you kind of slowly pull away from your bedroom and start to be a little bit more social.
Yeah, that does help, giving me different ideas. Let me look at some of the borderline stuff because there's a lot of weird things. This happens to me a lot. The unstable self-image, shifting from feeling confident about who you are to feeling like you are evil or don't even exist. I think you've kind of sensed when that's going on and like tried to encourage me. I get more discouraged like with my kids, like thinking, oh, I'm not doing this right.
Yeah.
And because you probably have other clients that have had that like unstable self-image. So how do you work with that as a caregiver?
That one's hard.
Yeah.
A lot of that is just kind of, because I'm also young, and a lot of it is saying like, I did that too. I was just as mean to my mother.
Oh,
and
yeah.
A lot of it is they'll grow up out of it, and when they're older and they seen things and done things and just are more knowledgeable, they'll kind of be like, oh, sorry, I did that. That was not nice of me. Or, oh, sorry, that was really mean of me. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
And I can see myself in your kids' issues sometimes. And yeah, it's just they don't understand. And kids, your kids your age are kind of like narcissistic a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's just being a teenager. You become narcissistic.
Yeah.
You become thinking my issues are so much more than anyone else's. I need to do these things by myself. And it's just being a teenager and growing up and just going through all the mood swings.
Yeah, I've been dreading these years, so I'm really glad to have another adult to talk to, and like
they get through it. Eventually they get through it.
Somebody who can verify that I actually said, because a lot of times they'll just say, you never said that.
I did that
so they can get away with things.
Yeah. Kids are sneaky. Teenagers are sneaky.
And then I had some good questions about this, but I'll have to find them for a different day. But about the rapidly changing intense moods, that's the part of BPD that's the hardest, I think, for other people to cope with. And like, what Dr. Drew was saying on the interview that I posted on a video a few days ago was that for the other people just to like ignore that when it's happening and don't feed into like any negativity that the borderline person is putting out there. So do you have like phrases that are helpful that you use with people when their mood just swings or like
take it as a grain of salt?
Yeah.
And I've just learned that as being a caregiver, people will say mean things to you. People will treat you a certain way because they have, you know, other issues going on in their life, and it's all valid. And so I've just learned to take things with a grain of salt and just kind of understand, like, they're in this mindset. This is what they're feeling. This is what they're struggling with. You're just here to help. You're not here to judge or be mean or to try to justify that you're this great and holy person. Like, no, you're here to help them because they have struggles. They have things that they need help with on just an everyday level.
Yeah, I think noticing you doing that with me and my family and my friends, I've gotten better at doing that with other people too, where I realize I don't have to fix this. I don't have to come out looking good in this situation either. It's fine. Like, they're upset.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just here to help. And if you don't need my help, then I can leave knowing that I tried.
Yeah.
I did what I could. And if you're not going to allow me to do that, then, you know, I'll come tomorrow. I'll see you again and try my best.
That'd be a good way to deal with it, especially if they were like throwing things at you or something. Yeah, they have intense anger that may lead to physical fights or destruction of property. I think a lot of older people or people with dementia actually have a lot of these symptoms. But I don't, just like autism wasn't diagnosed very frequently back in before like the 50s. I don't think borderline personality disorder was even a diagnosis until later on, like 70s maybe.
It's fairly new, I think.
Yeah. So like my grandma definitely seemed to have it from trauma, because the older people who act like that, a lot of times you find out like they're abandoned by their family, they're abused by their father, stuff like that, and then you think, oh, no wonder. But it's just, it sucks that as people with BPD that we take it out on the wrong person. That person might be dead, or that person we might have cut him out of our life or gotten away from him somehow, but then the issues are still there. And then whoever's around you has to have the fallout, I guess. This is so bad. I remember you noticed this when you first started working with me. During times of stress, he or she may believe others are intentionally trying to make life difficult for them or stealing things with mine. At other times, they may feel like they're losing touch with reality. And I think you just usually help you to act like it's real and just help me like look for the thing.
Well, of course. One thing that we learned with dementia patients is they think that something is going on. They might see something and it is not there. And, you know, you going up to this person saying like, oh, that cat was not there. Like that visual thing that you saw is not there. They're just going to end up fighting with you because it feels so real to them. So instead of trying to fight with them and argue with them, you can be like, oh, okay, describe the cat to me, or okay, describe what you saw.
Yeah.
Or just kind of go along with it, because for them, that's their reality. And it's hard, you know, having to feel like something is really going on and then someone telling you, like, no, that's not real. Like, that hurts. It's hard for them.
I remember when I was a case manager, they were just starting to have these seminars about dementia, and they could finally like image the brain properly and show which parts were like dark or gray.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying like it might be better. They were just starting to get in that philosophy that you're talking about. They're like, it might be better if you actually feed into it a little bit, just enough to make them comfortable at least, because this is actually their reality. And as much as we want them to come into our reality, that's not where they live. Like if they live in a nursing home, they don't deal with like going to the grocery store, or dealing with the person at the bank, or making beds for their family. They don't have those like, they don't go to work every day. So, you know, people do become more self-centered. I was really worried about that with asking to have a caregiver to become really self-centered. But I think there's a certain level of thinking about your own needs, like especially like food. I hadn't really worked on that until you started working with me, like actually thinking about what do I want to eat or what would be good for my body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, this doesn't happen to me as much, but it has happened. The unstable, stormy relationships with major shifts in thinking about another person, such as believing someone is a loyal friend to believing the person is untrustworthy or hurtful. I struggle with it like under the surface, but I don't think, have you seen me really show that? No, I don't really.
I think I have a really good sense of people's personalities.
Yeah.
I think you can meet someone and just kind of know the type of person they are. You've also studied personalities pretty well in depth.
Another thing too is like if this happens to me with other women, sometimes I just give it time because it can be hormones. Like I found that out when I was pregnant or my friends were pregnant. Like we could be hating each other, but it was literally just like where we were in our cycles. So that's something to consider. And I thought about asking for a male caregiver because of that. I mean, I might later because I get along with men better, but
you definitely can. I think they do ask you your preference too when you first get evaluated.
Yeah. Oh, this is something important. Oh, this will be my last question for today, but they're talking about how sometimes medications can help some of the symptoms of borderline. Same thing with PTSD. Yeah. Some of the symptoms, but there's nothing like, oh, this pill will make it go away. So I've been on different combinations of stuff, and then I was off of almost everything for like 2 months on accident. So did you see a major difference? Because I was wondering how it was for other people around me.
I did, only because, well, I wouldn't say major, but I did notice a difference because I'm with you every day. Practically live here.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, 5 days a week.
Yeah. I noticed it, but it wasn't nothing super like intense, I guess, for me that I noticed. I know you know how to handle yourself well, and like I said, you know a lot about your own self that a lot of people don't. And so when they do get off medications or they do kind of get off the rails,
they're not aware of how they're
they're not aware, and a lot of times it just takes over and they don't know how to control it.
I think I have good support network of people around me who will give me feedback. I know when I was on gabapentin, that was probably my worst medication experience besides things I was allergic to.
Yeah.
Because I was dropping everything and I was slurring my words. I think I was already off of that by the time you started working with me, but it might have been at the beginning.
I think so.
And I asked my psychiatrist to take me off of it. That's weird too, because my counselors and my psychiatrist will tell me what you said, that I'm really aware. And I think that goes a long way for anybody that's struggling with this stuff to learn what you can about it, because they will listen to me about what I'm saying is going on, and they will try my suggestions about meds. I research it first and I tell them why. So that helps. But like I get feedback from other friends who have similar conditions, and then from you and from just normal people like my mom or people that I know at meetings, or my sponsor, and then my kids, because Bella was saying my mood swings were getting pretty bad. And that's what I was like, well, I've been off my meds for 2 months. I need to get back on. But then I got really serious about it, because that's part of why I'm getting help, is so my kids don't have such a miserable upbringing as
You're a good mom.
Thank you.
You're a really good mom. You really are.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids of parents with BPD, I've heard them like explaining how awful it was, like the walking on eggshells constantly feeling. And Bella described that to me too when she was saying the mood swings. She said at the end of the day, it was like she could never please me. And that I'd always get angry about some little thing, and then she'd feel like we went to bed on bad terms, which she didn't want to do. But I was also learning in my Noom app at the same time about decision fatigue. And I realized like maybe I shouldn't be pushing myself so hard between like 2 and 5 p.m. Like I have to save my emotional energy for things
to
that
come
are
down.
important. Yeah.
And things should start to be relaxing and easy and nice. Not when you're making, life-changing decisions.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say they try to make their most important decisions in the morning after they wake up and have a cup of coffee because their mind is kind of clear and just getting ready and getting started, versus at the end of the day when the mind is all cluttered with just daily thoughts and things and lists and opinions and just everything.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try that. Okay. All right. I think that's it for now. Oh, where's the... Oh, I'm in the wrong thing.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Cool.